Hello Internet, my name is Lave and I'm back again with another review from the London Film Festival. This one is actually a documentary from Norwegian filmmaker Benjamin Ree. I watched The Painter and the Thief. As the title would suggest, it's about a painter called Barbora Kysilkova, a Czech girl living in Norway whose paintings are stolen from a gallery in Oslo, who then goes on to befriend one of the thieves who stole them, a guy called Karl Bertil-Nordland, even going as far as painting his portrait, and the film documents their unlikely friendship that develops after the heist as she searches for her paintings. Now I must confess I went into this one quite blind. I did watch the trailer a week or so ago which piqued my interest and made me want to go and see it, but other than that I didn't really know too much about this one, and I admit for the first 5 minutes into this film I thought this was a fictional documentary, as in they got actors to play scripted characters following a scripted narrative. But then 10 or so minutes in, I think it's going to be the standout moment of the film when she reveals her painting of him and his reaction to it. I was like, okay, this is real. There is no way this is acted, because his reaction to it is so powerful and raw and emotional. I was like, yeah, they're not acting. From there, the film takes a non-linear approach, jumping backwards and forwards in time, following their lives apart from each other and their various encounters with each other again. So the film is like a collage of their lives following on from the heist. So the film is about these two seeing each other and being seen, and I think a genius move from the director is to actually have each character narrate the backstory of the other character. So in essence, they are painting a portrait of each character through their own eyes, both figuratively and literally. As Bertil says at one point in the film, she sees me very well, but she forgets that I see her too. Bertil's story is unfortunately an all too familiar one, with neglect and abuse throughout his childhood, which led him to joining a gang and getting addicted to drugs, and we follow him as he battles these demons, but there are bumps in the road on his way to rehabilitation. Barbora, on the other hand, seems to have a hunky-dory life. We find out at the beginning of the film that the two paintings that were stolen are worth a lot of money. She's extremely talented and she has a stable relationship with her boyfriend Øystein. But then as the documentary progresses, we find out more about her past, why she fled to Norway, and why her art seems to feature dark themes like death. She even admits at one point in the film that she is attracted to destruction. In a sense, her addiction is her art, but it's a positive outlet for her. But there is common ground between the two, and reportedly the film director has filmed this over the course of 3 years and spent 8 months editing this all together. But I do think he's done an amazing job of stitching it all together and just letting the narrative kind of emerge just organically, obviously because it's a documentary and they're not following a script, but he's put it together in a very cinematic way. I will say that the film did start to drag a little bit for me, but then it has a very, very strong conclusion, which kind of comes out of nowhere, but you kind of suspect it at the same time. I do love a film that ends with a particularly strong final scene or a final shot, and this one has one which just hits you right there. You're like, oh. So that's my thoughts on The Painter and the Thief, and pause the video if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker now. I really needed this film in my life without really knowing it, especially in this day and age of lockdowns and isolation. It was just so lovely to see a film about genuine human connection and these two kindred spirits just kind of coming together. It was lovely. The only other criticism, I do wish that we saw a bit more of Barbora's kind of painting style. She's super talented and I'm interested in the artistic process. She uses oil paintings and I'm just like, oil paintings just scare me. I always used acrylic, but I wish we saw a bit more of her process and how she put together her images. But other than that, the film itself is artistic enough that I recommend you watch it. I think this film has been available on Hulu for quite a while. It's going to be available on virtual streaming services and virtual cinemas, so do check it out if you get the chance to. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching this review. I really do appreciate it. If you can, give it a like and don't forget to share the Lave. Subscribe